We start the noon today with an endangered missing alert out of Pueblo. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation says Rachel Bastian was last seen by her non-custodial mother on August 11th in Pueblo. Rachel is just 7 years old. She has blonde hair. She and her mother, Cassandra Bastian, were last seen traveling in a 1990 red Ford Explorer. CBI says the car does have fake Texas license plates of S63XSJ. At this time, they don't know what direction they are traveling. If you know anything about their location, please call 911. Taking a live look out over Boulder right now. It is another warm day for sure. My goodness, aren't we heating up very, very quickly today? Back here in Denver, likely going to be hitting the upper 90s later this afternoon. Another day to just definitely stay hydrated. Keep your sunscreen nearby. Just stay safe because it is going to be hot out there. Chris, I feel like it's been a little bit since we've had such a long stretch of the 90s.
Exactly. I said this over the last couple of days, Anusha. It feels like we've been waiting for this kind of midsummer, true midsummer weather. We're getting it. We are here. This is it. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been yelling about for the last couple of months while we've had all that wet and cool weather. We are getting it here on this Wednesday. Already, get this, 95 degrees for us at a DIA. And just looked at our 90s backyard temperature here. We're at 96 here in downtown Denver right now. So it is scorching out there. Mid to maybe even upper 90s for us here on the Eastern Plains at this point. And for today, again, much hotter than it was even yesterday. We got up to 92 yesterday. We were at 79 on Monday. Big increase in those temperatures. We do have the chance for an isolated storm this afternoon, but for today, those temperatures upper 90s. I'm going to say this. I would not be surprised at this point, the fact that we're at 95 as of noon. If we got to 100 today, I don't think we get there, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we did. We only need 5 more degrees, of course, to get there at this point. That said, we do have that chance for a gusty, isolated shower this afternoon, maybe a rumble of thunder within that as well. There's that chance, again, between about 2 and 7 p.m. that we do get an isolated shower or storm this afternoon. Now, for tomorrow here in Anusha, we will cool down just a little bit, but as we get later on into the week, we're going to maybe make another run at 100 degrees as we get later on into the week. So it's going to be one of those weeks, as you mentioned, that we're talking about this prolonged hot and dry stretch.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Chris. Colorado State Patrol is putting out a warning to be extra careful on the roads after a spike in deadly motorcycle crashes. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez is along I-25.
Last year, officials say they saw a record number of motorcyclist deaths here in Colorado. Last year, more than 140 people died. And data shows that we are not far behind for this year. So we know the top counties where motorcyclists were killed include El Paso, Jefferson County, Adams County, Denver, and Arapahoe. So since January 1st of this year, troopers have investigated 35 deadly motorcycle crashes, resulting in 36 deaths. They say fatalities seem to peak in the summer months. Many of those crashes could be avoided if both the driver and the motorcyclist were driving safely and watching for each other on the roads.
A lot of that is a twofold part. One is the motorcycle riders just do not have the training that's necessary to be able to ride these motorcycles around here. The other part is just the public not noticing motorcycles like they need to.
CDOT is also warning drivers and motorcyclists to just slow down and follow the basic rules when they're out driving. For now, I'm in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
We are learning more details from newly unsealed court documents that show the special counsel investigating former President Donald Trump was looking at his Twitter messages, specifically any tweets that were created, drafted, favorited, liked, or retweeted from October 2020 to January of 2021. Special counsel Jack Smith's office got a search warrant this year, and then there was a pair of court transcripts from February that were just unsealed. Prosecutors were also criticizing Twitter's refusal at the time to produce certain information. Trump was indicted on charges that he was trying to stop the peaceful transfer of power to Democratic President Joe Biden. Former President Trump pleaded not guilty. Turning now to the latest indictment out of Georgia, former Vice President Mike Pence, who's also running for the Republican presidential nomination, is now speaking out for the first time about the latest charges against Trump and his allies. He told a crowd in Indianapolis that there was no election fraud in the 2020 election and that Trump did not have the authority to overturn results.
Despite what the former president and his allies have said for now more than 2.5 years, and continue to insist to this very hour, the Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th. And now this week comes another indictment regarding the former president's conduct in the days leading up to the close of our administration. I've said many times I had hoped the judgment about those days would be left to the American people and to history. But such is not the case.
Former Trump's White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows now wants the charges filed against him in Georgia moved to federal court. According to a court filing yesterday, Meadows wants those charges in Georgia to be tried before a federal judge. Legal observers say Meadows' team believes they have a better chance of getting the charges dismissed under federal law. Meadows is arguing that he is entitled to bring a federal immunity defense. He says the charges against him stem from his conduct as President Donald Trump's chief of staff. Monday, Fulton County District Attorney charged Meadows with violating Georgia's Anti-Racketeering Act and with soliciting a public official to violate their oath. Also, according to a statement from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, former President Trump is expected to surrender at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. CNN reports his lawyers and the Fulton County DA's office are still negotiating the details of that surrender. The DA did announce an August 25th deadline. A Fulton County sheriff says that they will be following a, quote, normal practice and treat the former president like everyone else. Monday's charges make it the fourth indictment this year for Trump. He's now facing 91 charges across those 4 indictments.